Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about a video that I made like months ago, and I was like just I didn't want to post it because it was very emotional, and I wasn't sure if I was ready to share that, that information with everyone. So, and it was very vulnerable and everything, so I wasn't really sure if I wanted to share that video, and I held on to it for a while, but now I decided that I am ready to share it. So stay tuned so you can learn a little more about me. Goodness. All right, so just a little background information before I jump into this video. I, like most people, have a story, and both my parents were addicts, and I didn't have the best childhood. Let's just sum it up like that. And I did go into foster care right before I turned 16, and so this video that I'm about to show you clips of is pretty much just me expressing how I felt when I saw this picture of another little kid. So yeah, stay tuned. Thanks. Okay, so I had every intention on showing this video, but when I started to play this video, once again, I got extremely emotional. So I don't know if I'm gonna put it in or not. So I guess the next couple of minutes, I guess, will determine. If you see a picture of a clip, me looking a lot different, darker hair and all the rest of that, then I put it in. If not, then I'm just gonna try to do it again. So a while back there was a post of a little boy, I believe it was a little boy, passed out in a car. I mean, oh my goodness, excuse me, that's not true. A while back there was a post of a little boy in a seat, on the back seat of a car, and both of his parents were passed out in the front seat, and they were on drugs. They weren't dead or anything like that. They were overdosed on drugs and had passed out. And the police that found them like this took a picture and posted it, and kind of just wanted to shed light on the dangers of abuse, of drug abuse. So this went viral. Obviously the picture was everywhere, and the picture broke my heart because I was that little boy in the back seat. I was the kid watching his parents. I was that child that was watching their parents pretty much kill themselves from drug abuse. And not many people... So yeah, this picture, it really oh my god, I can't even talk. Every time I think that I'm over it, I'm not over it, and I want to move on with my life, and I do move on with my life. I get up every day, I take care of my kids, I love my husband, I love the life that I've created for myself, and I have plans for the future, I have plans for the present, and I just feel so like I'm carrying so much all the time. Like, even though I think that I let the past go, and I have, used the past to charge myself forward and be a better person and be a better woman, and I feel like I've done that, every single time I try to talk about it, I'm broken. Like, I cannot find the words to express how I feel. And I feel like at this point in my life, I should be able to, express that, because I feel like I am moving on. I feel better. I'm not sad all the time, but I just cannot express how I feel when it comes to talking about my past and talking about, my parents and their drug abuse. And you just don't realize how long you carry that. And I've talked to other people, and I've even had lunch with people, and every time I'm just devastated all over again, and it just puts me into such a deep, dark place, and I don't know how to get over it. And I didn't know that this is what this video was going to turn out to be, but I guess this is what it is right now. So, yeah. Okay, so I am the daughter of drug and alcohol abusers. My mother and my father were both addicted to drugs and alcohol. The majority of my life, I moved around a lot, bounced around between my grandparents and my mother and my father, because they, you know, didn't really know what they were doing with their lives. And they didn't really know what they were doing with their lives, so it was kind of hard for them to figure out what they were doing with mine. And most of my life I've always felt like that like I've always been an afterthought, or that I've always been second. I haven't felt like I've been priority in anyone's life. And to carry that around, oh goodness, and to carry that around is really heartbreaking, because I met my husband really young, and even to this day it still affects our relationship, because I always feel that he's gonna leave. Even though I know my husband loves me so much, and I know that there has never been another person on this planet that has loved me as much as he does, I always feel like this is temporary. I always feel like he loves me now, you know, and I have to actively tell myself, like, no, he loves you forever. And I have to actively love myself as well, because sometimes I just don't know how to love myself. I don't. My husband often tells me, like, you know, think about how your parents would be if they weren't on drugs. Would you feel this way if they weren't on drugs? Because it's not them, it's the drugs that's doing that, you know. And if I think about it in that aspect, then yeah, my mom loves me, my dad loves me, but in actuality, they love the drugs more. They've always wanted the drugs more than they've wanted me. And no matter how you try to think of that, no matter how you try to spin that, that is the hurt that you carry in your heart for a long time. And then you have to determine what you do with that hurt and that anger inside. You know, I decided to be a good person. You know, being a bad person, being an angry person, none of those things were going to help me in my life. So I decided to be a better person. I decided to be a good friend, you know, be a devoted mother, a devoted wife, which I don't always succeed at. I fail sometimes, I do. And I have to check myself, and I have to bring myself back to reality and say, listen, you know, this is what you're doing it for. You're doing it because you don't want your kids to feel that way. You're doing it because you don't want anybody that you love to ever feel this way. And so often I have to recenter myself and realize why I'm doing it. But this video, I guess, what it turned out to be, not what it intended it to be, is just to tell you that things happen in life. Life is not always great. It's not, you know, picture perfect. And things happen to, unfortunately, good people. And you can't let life, or people in life, in the world, you can't let them change who you are inside. Because for a long time, I allowed the decisions of others to change who I am, to affect my character. I turned into an angry person. I turned into a very mean, hurtful person because I was hurting. And I had to check myself and say, I am not angry. I am not mad. I am not hurtful. That is not who I am. And I had to look inside and see, who am I? And once I did that, I can tell you right now, I am the happiest I have ever been in my life. And when I talk about this stuff, it does get me emotional, but I am not sad. I am not in pain. I am the happiest I have ever been. I am the healthiest I have ever been. And I am loved more than I have ever been in my life. My children, my husband, they make me so happy inside. That nothing else matters. Nothing else matters in life. Come on, suck it up, bro. What are you doing? My beauty blender. Okay, so long story short is, don't let people change who you are. Don't let people dictate your life. Determine what you want out of life and then go for it. And that's it. And that's all.